and in today's video, we are going to be talking about all these cities on Highway 2. Yes, this is not clickbait, and what we're going to be doing basically is, as you can see, here's Highway 2. I picked this highway is because it goes through the mountains, and in general, it's a cool area to look at in the United States. By the way, this is in Washington, I think. Yeah, this is in Washington, and it looks like it's in the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. So we're going to be basically looking at all these tiny cities, all the way from this one to, let's say, this one, which is Wenatchee/Sunny Slope, and looking at basically how popular they are, what are the attractions, interesting railroad towns, and overall what to do there and how interesting they are. So we're starting off with Everett, and Everett is a pretty big city. It's in the top 10 of Washington's biggest cities. Everett right here, and it's just a smaller version of Seattle. It has a bit of tall buildings and stuff. But anyway, if this is where Highway 2 starts, so right here, this is the start of Highway 2. And fun fact, Highway 2 goes all the way to Lake Michigan, I'm pretty sure. Or it might even go cross country. But we're not getting there. We're just crossing the mountains and through the, I don't know what this pass is called, but north of Highway 90 where it starts Snoqualmie Pass. So if we go here, we get to this place called Cavallero Corner. So we have Cavallero Corner here, and this is basically not a city. It's just an intersection, but it leads into the town of Lake Stevens. Here we can see this whole area right here is Cavallero/Lake Stevens area. I think it's like all of it is owned by Lake Stevens. But if we make our way down here, we get to this intersection with Highway 9. And if you go just a bit down south here, you have Snohomish, the name of the county, the city Snohomish of Snohomish County. It's not that big, but let's keep going down, and we're going to start getting into the mountains here soon, but so far not yet. We go down here. We have this intersection, and here we get to, one second, sorry. Yeah, we get to this Monroe area, which is also probably one of the biggest cities on this list, not counting Washington. It's popular, and here it connects with Highway 522, which eventually, as we can see right here, this is it. It leads to, one second, it's not loading. It leads all the way to I-5, and yeah, then it goes through here and to Monroe, if this makes any sense, through Seattle. So it's a pretty big city. It's a busy area. But let's keep going and see. We go here, and by the way, this is already along the railroad we can see here. So let's keep going and see what other cities we have. Sultan is basically the official start of the mountain city range, and it's a relatively small city, but it has like a bunch of restaurants and stuff, and it is along the Skykomish River. And why it's called Sultan is part of it is because we have the Sultan River over here. I don't know for what it was named for, but we can see Highway 2 right here. The main highway crosses the Sultan River, and eventually, I'm not sure if Highway 2 crosses the Skykomish River, the main river that's going to run along it for a long time. But as we can see right here, I'm pretty sure Sultan River becomes smaller and runs into a lake, from what I was studying earlier for this video. So it goes right here, and now it has a bunch of these smaller creeks, and yep, it goes into the Spada Lake. I'm pretty sure this is also a reserve. It's a pretty big lake up here. It goes into there, and it starts right there. So that's a nice little river. And the railroad, just a reminder, is running along here, so let's keep going. Here we have a little corner with McDonald's and stuff, and here we have a smaller city. It's called Startup. If we let's search up the history of Startup, because we're really getting into the mountains and the railroad towns. And let's, history of Startup. Nope, history of Startup, Washington. let's see. So Startup Washington is a small unincorporated community in Snohomish County along the Skycomish River. And it looks like it is not a railroad town, but it is just a regular thing that was a regular little town that was established in 1890, and it looks like it had a name change. It became Startup in 1901. Ongoing postal confusion with Idaho, so Idaho must have another city that's called Startup, but it's a small community. Here's just to say, here's what it looks like. It's really, most of it is just houses like this, you can see here, but it is a little city, and it does have some restaurants and eateries, drive-ins, and so yeah, it's a cute little town. And right here, right next to it, basically, we have Gold Bar, and it's a bigger town. Now, history of Gold Bar, because I'm pretty sure it was called Gold Bar because of something related of gold, but let's see. History of Gold Bar, Washington. Maybe, I don't know though. Yeah, Prospectors Camp in 1889 after a miner found small traces of gold on a gravel bar along the Skycomish River. Yeah, and then it became more popular in 1910. Those are the railroad years when traveling with train was most popular. And this is a let's just say much bigger city than Startup. Not much bigger, but it's just a bigger city, and it also runs along the Skycomish River. And here we actually have, and also along the railroad here, because obviously in the 1800s or in the late 1800s or early 1900s, trains had to come and get people to Gold Bar to get the gold. So yeah, and here we have a Stevens Pass Highway or Highway 2 Skycomish River crossing. Here's the Skycomish River is a pretty big river, and by the way, from the surroundings, we can see that we are heading into the mountains, and on the side, we already have some mountains. So here we go, just so you can see. Past Gold Bar, I think it's the big star of the mountains. So here we have this little community, Big Bend. It's not much of a city. It's just a community. Now we have this turn. So Highway 2 starts going a bit south, but soon it becomes going east and somewhat north again. Or not somewhat, yeah, somewhat north, but not again, because it used to just go just east. I think it's somewhat south, actually. Somewhat south. Anyway, we have Skycomish River here, and this is a big point because first of all, we have the South Fork Skycomish Bridge, and this river goes into, as you can see right here, it goes into South Fork Skycomish River and North Fork Skycomish River, and so we can explore these, and it would be fun. Let's see which one's longer, and I'm pretty sure the North Fork Skycomish River, it goes all the way, not to Canada, but okay, we have the Gold Bar Index Road here. And we're going to be looking at that a bit later, but Index. It's also a little community. Index, Galena. Galena is a ghost town. We have so much to talk to now that we're heading into the mountains. So, first of all, let's talk about the actual rivers. Let's go to see where South Fork Skycomish River goes first. So it looks like it keeps going along Highway 2, so we're going to look at it anyway. But, so North Fork Skycomish River actually goes, I don't think it goes to Canada, but I think it goes to about Highway 20. And it might split again. So we have this it goes through the little community of Index, or town, I guess, the town, Index town that we're going to be talking about also. But here we go, goes through these cabins area and some other roads. And here we're starting to go up North Fork Skycomish River, and we're in this little ghost town of Galena. We're going to talk about this too, along Index Galena Road. I'm not sure if this is closed, actually. But here we have, it splits into West Candy Creek, and I'm pretty sure this is still it. North Fork Skycomish River. Hopefully you guys are following it. Here we go. And it looks like it stops right here. I thought it was just a chunk that didn't load. And it looks like the North Fork Skycomish River ends right here, right in the middle of the wilderness. That's right. And yeah, pretty cool, right? Anyway, now let's talk more about the North Fork Skycomish River, and more importantly about this town of Galena. I'm pretty sure it is still accessible today. That's right, it is, but Galena is a ghost town. So let's search up Galena ghost town. Galena ghost town, Washington. Galena is a historic mining ghost town in Snohomish County, Washington, nestled in the Cascade Mountains of Northeast Index along the Silver Creek Mining District. It was platted in December 1891. It once targeted silver, lead, and gold ores, but today very little remains except historic foundations and rugged mountain scenery. So it looks like it was also a railroad town located at an elevation of 1,079 in the Cascades. But there still looks like pictures of it. So let's see. South Bridge, there still, I think, remains in the Index/Galena Road. It looks like YouTube didn't even go here. But here is all that's left. Some containers and some maybe houses here. But this is kind of what it looks like now. So, interesting. Along the North Fork Skycomish River. Now, well, since we're on the topic of this, we're going on Highway 2. I'm still going to consider Index as a city on Highway 2. So let's go here and see what this is. So basically, all you have to do is take a little detour across. Take a little detour right here, Index Galena Road. It looks like they're still named the road after it, but we cross the bridge right here into here like that, and on the river like that, and here we have the little city of Index. They have an elementary school, a store, a park, basically everything you might need in a community like this. So I'm pretty sure their population is like 50 something, I think, or more like 100. But here's what the houses look like. It's a small little town surrounded by mountains, and it looks pretty cool. So anyway, the roofs of the buildings there and stuff. So let's keep going on Highway 2. We are going to be going along the South Fork Skycomish River too, so we know now where the North Fork Skycomish River goes. It's basically in the middle of the wilderness of the Cascades in Snohomish County, or maybe it even goes into the Kitsap County, I'm pretty sure, which is north of Snohomish County, but I'm not sure. So here we have a little bit of taverns, and the South Fork Skycomish River keeps going. We have some lodges here along. Now we're going a bit south. We have some Eagle Falls right here, a little waterfall, and here we have Halford, also along the city. Let's learn more about Halford because I actually don't know what this is. Halford, Washington. Halford, Washington is an unincorporated community and historic locality. So, is it a ghost town? It functions mostly as a rural residential natural landmark. So interesting. So it looks like just a little town. It has some cabins right here, but it's really something that not much would pay attention to. Let's see, what is this? Bering, another railroad town. I'm pretty sure this was also incorporated at the same time at about how the other railroad towns were, but it's a pretty small town surrounded by mountains too. We're really heading into the mountains now, by the way. We have some cabins, lodges, etc. Here we have something I've never heard of, actually, Grotto. It looks like also a little city, but I've never heard of this. It's just off of Highway 2. Let's see it. Yes, just as we expected. It's a small community with a few houses, and maybe even a few campgrounds. And just as I was saying about campgrounds, here we have Money Creek Campground, and we're still, by the way, going along the South Fork Skycomish River. I'm pretty sure it's going to end or go in the other way at some point when we get to Stevens Pass, Wellington, and whatever, the Scenic. And here we have, looks like Miller River, which is a little town that I'm not sure how to get to. Looks like you just take this here and take the road here. But we have this going onto the different river, and I'm not sure what this river is. It's kind of glitching right now, so we're gonna wait for a little bit. Okay, here we go. The second I turn it off, we have right here, and this is the East Fork Miller River. And this is a small river. I'm pretty sure it just goes down and becomes a small river and ends. So it's not something we're going to pay attention to a lot. But here we have the city of, finally, we knew that there had to be a city of Skykomish along the Skykomish River, right? So, and here it is. We have, this is a medium-sized city, I'd say, because, see, we have here, and it's a beautiful city. Look at the mountains there, and we can see right here that it crosses the Skykomish River. 1 second, I went to the wrong place. I went to the wrong place again. There we go. And the Skykomish River should be blue at this point, or green. Yeah. It's a really great river to also to swim in, actually. I don't know that, but it looks like one because the water looks clean. But anyway, we have right here, we have some cabins, a little community which I don't think has a name, and looks like it's loading again, and we are officially really in the mountains, and here we have scenic and now we're really getting into the main things, the historical landmarks of the railroad, and we have scenic right here, which is definitely a railroad town. It's not even a town anymore. It's just some kind of little area, but and I think it might be a ghost town. Scenic History, Washington. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, it's Washington. No. I mean like scenic. How do we say it? Scenic Town History. Here we go. Let's see. Scenic Historic. Okay. I am talking about the town called Scenic in Washington. History of it. Let's see. Scenic Town History. Maybe you'll get what we're saying. Let's see. Yes, it is a nearly okay. What is wrong with AI and grammar these days? Scenic Washington is a nearly abandoned railroad town. Wow. It's a ghost town in King County. Interesting. It's actually a ghost town. This is where people come to the snow. It's, I'm pretty sure, really close to Stevens Pass. The era of scenic hot springs, before it became a massive industrial staging ground, Scenic began as a mountain resort. In the late 1890s, this is what I was saying, Great Northern Railway established a mountain Madison stop near the western side of the original Cascade Tunnel. And yeah, a scenic hot springs resort and mineral hot springs were discovered nearby, leading to the development of the Scenic Hot Springs Resort. It was burned down in 1908, but rebuilt later. So it is indeed a ghost town, and as we can see here, maybe this is part of it too, but it is near, as they said, near the Cascade Tunnel West Portal. And I'm pretty sure the Cascade Tunnel West Portal is just a train route. It's a tunnel. I think this is where it ends. Dedicated January 12, 1929, probably when it was either built or finished. Right here, when you have the old Cascade Highway. And I'm pretty sure, well, let's see, maybe it's also, I think, an abandoned highway. Yeah, it's completely graveled. I don't know how people would even get there. Let's see what it looks like from the turn off Highway 2. Looks like, yeah, it just looks, it's closed in 1.6 miles from here. So, well, let's keep going, and now we're going to have this giant turn right here. And this is the official, most mountainous region. And here we have Wellington, which is a very historical landmark right here. And I'm going to explain why, because I read, like, a book on it. Here's what it looks like. This is, this is the mountains, as I was saying, the complete and the biggest part of the mountains on Highway 2. So we have right here, and I think this is the Thai Scenic Road. It goes to Thai, which is going to be a little community that we're going to go along. But this is home of the Wellington Avalanche. And here's the story. So in 1910, there was a train that was going across to Seattle. And what happened was that there was a giant avalanche, and the people there got stuck in Wellington in a eatery, and then they had to move again. It was probably one of the biggest avalanches ever in Washington, in the mountains, and then they had to move to Scenic, and then 2 days later, the Wellington avalanche. The Wellington here, there was a giant avalanche, and even in Scenic, while they were going, a massive avalanche just knocked their train off into a giant ravine and cliff about right here, and basically a lot of people died from that. There's a I Survived book on it, which is actually pretty cool that they made a book on that. It's right, yeah. Here this goes to Stevens Pass, the Thai road, and this is the main part of why people go on Highway 2. It's Stevens Pass. It's a giant ski resort. So yeah, this is very interesting. If you live in Washington, you might want to go here. And here we can go up, and we have this little, also, I think, ghost town of Bern. If we zoom in, we literally can't see anything. Bern, Washington, spelled B-E-R-N-E. Small incorporated locality. It's not even a community, it's a locality. Because there's literally nothing here. It looks like an abandoned railroad town. Some kind of thing here. Maybe some attraction. I'm not sure about that. Here we have, we're heading slowly but surely now out of the mountains, but we're still definitely 100% in the heart of the mountains right here. So as we can see, now we have a bunch of trailheads here, and now we are at Merritt. I think it's a little community or locality too. We have a bunch of lodges here, and this is Nason Creek, by the way. Nason Creek. It looks more of how big it is. I've seen it on Google Maps before. It looks more like a river actually. And let me show you when it loads. Here we go. This is the Nason Creek Bridge right here. It looks more like a river. It's as big as a river. It looks bigger than a creek, and we can also see it one more time later when it crosses. But this is the small community of Nason Creek. Let's see, and when it loads. So here we go. It's literally just a small community. We can't even see a lot of the houses from here. This is the main intersection, I guess. Here it is. Here's the main intersection, near the railway. And it looks like we have stopped going on Skycomish River, guys. I actually missed that. Let's see where we stopped. Maybe it took a detour. I completely forgot. Maybe it stops and it gets smaller at about here. I mean, here it is right now. No, this is the Thai River, actually. This is very interesting. Does it go? It goes here, then we cross it, and now I think it goes under. So let's see, is this Skycomish? Nope, it looks like that it splits into two rivers, which none of them are Skycomish River, so it ends right here. So anyway, we are getting closer to the end, and we have Cole's Corner right here, which is a corner where you can take a highway to get to Lake Wenatchee and Lake Wenatchee State Park campground, a very popular destination, a cool lake. Pretty popular, I guess. Here we have, this is, I'm pretty sure, on a kind of Indian reservation, actually. And I'm not sure, but I think around here there's some kind of fire right now. Well, let's see. There's something called the Little Giant Fire. It is around here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here we go. It's like very big. So it's around here, so it's not good to go, I guess, to Lake Wenatchee at this time because it might burn, and that would not be good. It's a very big forest fire right now. But here looks like we start going along the Wenatchee River, which flows obviously from Lake Wenatchee right here, and it goes down, down, down. And now we're going to be going along it for a pretty long time, literally almost parallel. I'm going to try to find a spot for you guys right here to see it, the best one, the closest one. This looks like a good one, and maybe not, but I'm going to still try to find one for you guys. Maybe right here, as soon as we see it like that, I think this will be a good spot. Yes, indeed it is. This is what the river looks like. It's a pretty cool river, and it's near the mountains too. So anyway, now we go down here and we get to this pretty big city, probably the third biggest one on this list, not counting Wenatchee, or Sunny Slope. Leavenworth. We're officially starting to get out of the mountains, and here this is like a old type city with its German roofs and stuff. I think this is an actual city now. We're getting into the actual cities. Yeah, I mean it has McDonald's and everything, and like regular stores. So, and it even has an amusement park, or I guess called an adventure park with it says it's an amusement park, but they call it an adventure park. Here we cross the Wenatchee River. Some parks right here along it. Front Street Park. Some islands. Enchantment Park, Blackbird Island, Waterfront Park. There's a public main beach. So this is a pretty big city in the relatively of what we're talking about right now. So yeah, that's a pretty big one. Then we have Pesheston. This is a smaller city, and there's actually something called Pesheston Pinnacles State Park. I don't know why it's called Pinnacles, but it is named after Pesheston. Hopefully you guys got a look right there. And now let's keep going down. We have this connection with Highway 97, which actually goes all the way down to, or I guess in the context of this, it goes down here through more mountains, and it gets to eventually it gets to Highway 90 into Ellensburg. So that's how you know we're getting close. So here we have a little city named called Dryden. And it's not a city, it's I think this is a community. Kind of similar, just a few houses. And here we're starting to get into the desert. Here's the state park, by the way, I was talking about. I'm pretty sure it has a pretty high elevation. 214 reviews. That's not that much. It has trails, maybe some desert trails. But let's keep going along the Wenatchee River still. Then we pass by this little city of Kashmir. And I guess it's not that little. I thought of it as smaller until I actually saw it. And wow, this is much bigger than I thought the city would be. I can even see like from here. Wow, yeah. Here you can see we're getting into the desert. There's still hills coming from the past, but they're already becoming much smaller. So here we have Kashmir Monitor. That's a pretty weird city name. I think it's just a junction along the railroad, and the railroad I think does continue here. And here we get to the bunch of junctions to Sunny Slope, some sweets, basically some stores. This is Sunny Slope, and then this is basically where we're going to stop, except if you go down here, get to probably the second biggest city on this list, Wenatchee. It's a pretty big city. Here's what it looks like. It's along the Columbia River, so we've gotten into the Columbia River. It's actually pretty interesting because it flows, this river, the Wenatchee River, it flows from a lake into a river, which is interesting. So, and we have Wenatchee and Sunny Slope right here. Sunny Slope is a city, but a lot of the reason is because it's more of a junction, but still it has a bunch of stores and businesses. Sunny Slope, and here we have, basically if we just go down a bit, Wenatchee River, and yes, it does continue further. Highway 2. It does. Here we can see the fire right there. But Highway 2 does continue further, but we've just passed all of these cities, some that we didn't even see, and communities, and we basically saw and learned more about them. And I hope you learned with me today. And it's very interesting to look at these things. And if you guys want me in the next episode of this is my first episode of looking at basically geography of interesting places that interest me and you. You can comment down what other highways / places, passes, doesn't have to be mountain passes, anything along the coastline, like maybe we can do Highway 101, all the cities on there, and review them, or we can do some of the other ones that go through the Cascade Mountains, like Highway 90 Interstate, Highway 20, which is way north, or Highway 410, or even Highway 12. Whatever you guys want near Mountain Rainier. But thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot, or at least something in this video. And I have a great day. Have the great rest of your day. Please like and subscribe. It only takes a few seconds. It would really help me out, as this is my first video in the series. And yeah, goodbye everyone.